This is the Sapa Inca, or the sole ruler of the Incan Empire. They were thought to be the descendant of the sun god Viracocha, so that gave them divine right and ruling over the entire empire itself. The Sapa Inca would be tasked with basically running and collecting and owning all the resources in the land. He also would oftentimes marry within the bloodline just to keep it pure, whether that be a sister or a cousin. The Sapa Inca did not do this alone. The Sapa Inca constantly referred to a council in which would help him manage resources, decide where to conquer next, and run the empire. This council was made up only of men because at the time women were not educated. The council also had a corps of learned and well-written men that would help record the history that was being created. So the council created and recorded Incan history so that the empire would not be lost within history. One day, our chief has the idea that he wants to expand the Incan Empire. So he is going to pass on the responsibility to the military power within his community. And they're going to go and attempt to spread the Incan Empire. They would set out on the Incan highway system, which was a range of narrow footpaths, fortified structures, and canals. Conquest of new territories revolved around the religion. So what would happen is the military powers would go to new territories and they would basically introduce the religion. All places that refused to accept it would be plundered. However, if the place accepted the new religion as fact, the Incan Empire would co-opt it within to theirs, and they would do that either via marriage or just adding it into the empire. So here we can see the military implementing the religion into this new territory. This territory has now been conquered, but they're compliant, so here they go to meet the Sapa Inca. The Sapa
you're going to be a
would
farmer.
divide up jobs
Now,
amongst the common folk, such as farmers,
and now point towards me
weavers,
for
and
her.
crafters, chosen women
Now
who were
point
women
that way
used
for
within religious sacrifice,
And
and
now point to the classroom for
builders
him.
who helped build and maintain the empire.
Great.
Daily jobs were very important to the Incan Empire, and people, when given a job, they did it. That is because since all property was owned by the Sapa Inca used a barter system where basically people would do labor, and for their labor, they would be given penance. This meant that there really was no minimum wage. You just worked, and the Sapa Inca would come, review it, and give you food or resources. Didn't matter what job you were given.
Go ahead.
If you were given a job, you did it, and also you would get penance for it. People would often use their penance to trade or barter. All people within the Incan Empire were expected to follow the religion of the sun god. There was no other option and no other choice. Regular sacrifices were made to the sun god in order to keep him appeased. And this was how the Incan Empire kept people in line. One day, one of the wives gets a little bold. So after sending her husband off to work, she goes and sees her other friend, her fellow friend, a friend that is not her husband. This is adultery. And adultery within the Incan Empire was a crime, a very serious crime that could result in jail time or death. This not only extended to women, but unlike other societies, this extended to men because women were property and all property belonged to the Sapa Inca. So if you disrespect Sapa Inca property, you disrespect the Sapa Inca. So men and women were jailed for adultery.